Yo, big up Wagwan, why pre, where you deal with, where you depend up top. Blessings, you don't know how it go. We're there back again with another one. Clinical Jamaican citizen, the place where you come to share your football opinions, not just on Manchester City, but you don't know. I am a Manchester City fan, and majority of my viewers are also Manchester City fans. So you don't know how it go. We're there. It's good to be back. Um, and we have a game coming up tomorrow on what will be a big weekend. Now, new time, usually I'm here at hour and 30 minutes slightly before, but honestly, I was trying to swerve the City Extra live stream preview that they were going to do. They had it scheduled for 3 my time, so I'm like, all right, cool. I can work with that. Can forward later, but they apparently just started, so it got some time. We move. Show must go on regardless. I do assume that majority of whoever will be watching this would be seeing it on the replay. So, but big up to yourself regardless. And if you are here live, definitely leave me a comment. I'll give you a shout out. I much appreciate all the support. And do continue to show that. Like and subscribe as usual. We're getting places. And there's still a lot more work to do, especially next month. A lot of big games coming up, a lot of work I want to do in terms of getting on other panelists and guests, City fans, non-City fans, and we can have a whole variety of different conversations as well. But as of right now, it's just me. I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on the Nottingham Forest game, how we're coming into it, how Nottingham Forest are coming into it, what I expect, um, how I expect the game to play out. You'll get my prediction at the end of the stream, and can talk NLD as well because I'm excited for that game. I want to watch as much Big Six derbies as possible this season. So this is definitely the first one coming up. Aside from Arsenal, Man U, I don't really class that as a derby. I'm also looking to see Liverpool versus Everton later on the season. The Manchester Derby is coming up next month. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City. Manchester City coming to this game at the top of the table, exactly where we belong, if we're being honest. And having winning 17 of the last Premier League games, and we are still the only team in the Premier League to maintain a 100% record since the start of the season. Additionally, we've scored 14 goals in the Premier League and we've notched 11 goals in our last 3 games, which those look like good stats for me. Great start to the season. And there is a slight concern that I have. However, I think there might be a couple of Blues who share my sentiments also, and I'm sure there will be Blues who disagree. Let me know where you lie in that in the comments. But what I'm speaking about is in regards to Erling Haaland. Despite his 7 goal start to the Premier League season so far, I wouldn't say he's in the best vein of form at the moment. In particular, the last 3 games, you've seen a lot of chances where usually you would bet 9 out of 10 times Erling Haaland scores this chance right here, and it's multiple times over the last few games where he's failed to convert the majority of his chances, and maybe ending off the game with 1 goal, where a lot of us are saying, he probably could have and should have had a hat trick in this game. But for me, it seems like look just isn't really on his side at the moment. He's still getting into great positions. The finishing is a bit questionable, but at the same time, last season I saw finishing that was absolutely outstanding. So, like everything else, I think this is something that will pass with time, and it's only a matter of time before he's back into full robot mode, and it's like 5 chances, 4 goals, 5 goals, them type of thing there. I'm not really too worried about Erling Haaland at the moment, but I do think we need to make that point that right now he isn't firing on all cylinders. MCFR TV is here. Big up to you. And another message here says, big up Clinical, big up, man. Enjoy this stream earlier. And I'm not sure what time is the next one. Let me know because I'll try to be there as well. JJ DJ, much appreciate you being here. First time I've seen your name here, but I did see you earlier on MCFR's live stream. Thanks for being here as well, man. Um, MCFR TV says you are everywhere, Jacob Johnson. That's good. No, that's good. I try to give my support to all the city channels as well. I think that the blues community really does stick together. I'm really proud of that. And apparently JJ DJ is very proud of that as well. Keep going, bro. Keep going. And MCFR TV says his stream is in 35 minutes. So even if you're watching my stream on the replay, MCFR's stream is either still ongoing or already finished. So definitely head over to his channel as well and check that out. And JJ DJ doing the Lord's work. Remember to hit the likes, people. I'll keep going though. Back to the Nottingham Forest chat. And let me know what you guys are thinking ahead of the game as well. How are you guys feeling coming into this game? For me, the two narratives I've been hearing since the start of the season, one of them is that without KDB, we wouldn't be able to create loads of chances every game like we usually do when KDB plays. And on the other hand, you hear a lot of people talking about how we've lost too much experience in the team. And since we won the treble last season, Pep wouldn't be able to motivate the whole team to go again this season. I didn't fully subscribe to either one of those because for me, this is even more proof why rival fans need to put even more respect on Pep Guardiola's name. The chance creation is still looking good. Maybe not to the levels of having the best midfielder in the world of KDB in the team playing week in, week out. But still, the chance creation does look good. The players we've identified on the market have come in and have been playing really well. We've had our best Premier League start since Pep's first season, where he won 6 games in a row, I believe, and I think he lost on the seventh game. And the performances have still been very inspired and intense. And I think our level is still very high at the moment. So I'm glad to see that continuing. And, the haters can hold that. That's all me can say to that. I also did mention injuries in the title. And I mentioned it ahead of the West Ham game as well. Because even Pep, was it this press conference? I don't remember, but he did say we're in trouble. I think it was the end of the last game against Red Star because he had to pull off Bernardo Silva at just before the halftime mark. So, you know, injury crisis. I don't want to say it, but even though it's like 4 or 5 players teetering on that balance in terms of how many players we have out injured, there are key players who, if fit, there's a genuine argument for them starting in the team right now, as well as we are playing. So it's you have to give some leeway there. Understand that we are going through a bit of a difficult moment. Pep Guardiola understands that as well. I'm not saying that I'm worried about us getting a result in this game or the upcoming games that we have. Looking at players like Kovacic, he's returning from his injury soon. I think he should be available for this weekend. I don't think he'll start, but there's a good possibility that he might, and I wouldn't be too surprised if he does. But I'm expecting him to come off of the bench, as well as Jack Grealish. He's coming back now. Pep said he can play some minutes against Nottingham Forest, so I'm expecting him to definitely feature off the bench and get some minutes in his legs and potentially start the Carabao Cup fixture that we have coming up against Newcastle as well. But that's just a bit of what's going on in our squad right now. Bernardo Silva, his injury update was that he's between a week and 2 weeks until he's fully back into the squad. And John Stones, there's still not really much of an update in terms of a time frame when we're to be expecting him back into the team. Let me get back to these comments and see what you guys are saying. Yeah, JJ says he's like Alec Johnson. Hey, maybe you have 3 J's in there. I wouldn't bet against one of them being Johnson. And he says people thinks I'm related to him. There you go. There you go, man. MCFR TV says, I mean, you both type in caps and you both have the same second. Hey, I see the pattern that's going on here. I know we all clock the pattern. MCFR. They're trying to trick us. I guess they're trying to make us think that they're not connected somehow, but we know better than that. We know. And he says, happened between yours and LB stream. I was just on LB stream, but the time is here. Got to record. I'm definitely going to go back and finish that stream, and then I'm going to go back and watch the City Extra preview as well. But yeah, man, thank you so much for being here. Ethan says Prem are destroying their own. Prem are destroying their own, I guess. Big up to Ethan. Thanks for being here. He says 6:30 Sunday KO are crazy. Don't you dare do it, Prem. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but let me know what you mean. 6:30 Sunday kickoffs are crazy. Is that PM? Because for me on Sundays the day starts off with 7:30 a.m. kickoffs. So let me know if you mean 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. That's 1:30. Oh, actually, that might be, yeah. I think there's a late game this weekend for real. Yeah. I think there is a late game this weekend, right? And JJ says I'm actually called Jacob Johnson. He could be a secret brother. Oh, also before I forget, Ethan, Um, around the start of each month, I want to do an FPL update where I go through my FPL team and I show you guys my standing in my league. If any of you guys are interested in joining my league, by the way, I can give you guys a link, and I think with the next update, you guys will be included in it. But I want to talk a bit of FPL as well. Maybe not every single week because I think that would get a bit too much. But I think at the start of every month, just give you guys a broad overview of what I'm thinking for I'm planning for to do with my team for the month, and we can have some good conversations about that. But yeah, let's speak about Nottingham Forest real quick. As for Nottingham Forest, they currently sit in eighth place after 5 games, which for me they've had a decent start to the season. I think they'll be happy with where they are so far. They've had some decent results in there as well. They won 2 games, 1 draw and 2 losses. Their 2 wins. One came at home against Sheffield United on game week 2, and then against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which was a huge result for them. And I was definitely rooting for them in that game. Now, I believe in their last 6 games, because they did play a cup game against Burnley as well. In their last 6 games, they've conceded in 5 of those. And ironically, that Chelsea game is the only one that they didn't concede in. So um, my main concerns about Nottingham Forest is how they're set up. Not that I think the manager is incompetent, but I do think that with all the new players that they have, they it's going to take a bit of while to build that chemistry. Kind of like Chelsea situation in a way. Like, they're trying to make all these new players work, but thankfully it's with a manager who's been there for 2 years. So what they're doing right now, I think over time it will definitely improve and get better. By next season, this might be a completely different look towards the preview, because I kind of do like what Stephen Cooper is cooking. I want to keep an eye on it and see how it improves over time. But yeah, they're doing a good thing, man, and they have some good players in there as well. And we're going to talk about that. Players to watch coming up, definitely coming up. But back to Nottingham Forest. They have their own injury worries at the moment. Danilo, the midfielder, is out. Not sure when he's due to return. Serge Aurier, Willy Boley, and Wayne Hennessy. Serge Aurier, Willy Boley, both are defenders. Wayne Hennessy is their goalkeeper. And all of them are looking to return to full fitness at the moment. Nottingham Forest, it's a very interesting approach that they've taken into their Premier League time or Premier League tenure. So I want to send them some good luck. They've been doing some good work. They haven't caused us any trouble aside from last season with the 1-1. And that was really our fault. We should have won that game. And they're doing the Lord's work out here. They beat Arsenal for us last season. At the end of the season, won us the league. They've been troubling Chelsea this season. Almost got something off Man United. Hey, let them cook. Let them do their thing. I'm enjoying how they're working. But to the players that I want to keep an eye on, before I get into that, let me see if there's anything else in the comments here. JJ says, my keyboard is broke. Okay. That explains why he talks in caps all the time. Yeah, that makes sense. And he says, W. Appreciate that. But yeah, players to watch. A part of this might be a bit obvious, right? For me, Manchester City, I usually give 3 players to watch from our team and 3 players to watch from the opposing team, but I'm mainly going to focus on 2 players for Manchester City, because the third slot, it's really between like three, four different players. And OC here with a message. He says, "Evening, good evening to you, OC." And sorry, you say you missed your message like 20 seconds ago. I didn't get to reply to immediately, but I definitely do appreciate you being here. Do like that video, and I'm not ignoring a comment, but I was speaking. I wasn't looking at the comments just now. So I do want to say my apologies. Didn't mean to offend you, but I definitely do. Thank you for being here. Like I said, like the video. Hope you subscribe, and I hope to see you on many more streams as well. Also, while you're at it, let me know the players who you guys are looking forward to seeing in this game. I'm about to tell you guys who I'm looking forward to see from both sides. Like I said, there are players who so many players I could talk about, right? Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Foden, Doku, Ederson, like all them playing well right now, right? And for that third spot, I'm gonna give it to either Rodri, Foden, Doku. If you guys want to hear me wax lyrical about either one of those players, just let me know in the comments. I'll come back to it. But we know what we get from all three of these players so far. Doku, least much so, because he's the newest in the team and he's only been here this season. But we've seen from his debut up until now, it's been consistent. Foden, Rodri, we know what we get from them years on top of years now. Who I really want to speak about at the moment is Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes has started off well. I can't lie. After the first time, his debut, I did like what I saw from him, but I felt like I didn't see enough. Maybe that was because I wasn't really watching him specifically like I should have. I was kind of watching just the general performance. And yeah, I just remember him having a standard game, but the last game in that Champions League, man, yo, he definitely impressed me. Similarly to Doku, I think he's coming to the squad with so much confidence, and he played with that confidence as well at Wolves, and it's just surprising to me that he's transitioned from playing there, coming into a treble winning team, and he's still in that same level of confidence. And clearly, when we were initially interested in Matheus Nunes, he was pushing for that move. So that tells me he was backing himself to be successful in this Manchester City team from day one. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? I like that. Forward, come dating, and let's see it happen. Now he's doing the business. It's only been 2 games, one full game. He did play 90 minutes in the Champions League. Very good for him. Right now, we need him because there are definitely a lot of injuries, and I do think he will start for Kovacic next to Rodri and be Rodri's midfield partner for the game. Now, third person or the final spot that I definitely want to speak on, I think you guys know the big man of the moment. He's definitely doing the business, quality performances week in, week out. Julian Alvarez. Baller. My baller that, you see me? Julian Alvarez has started his season like a house on fire. You see me? Since last season, there was a lot of criticism. Oh, he might leave. He might be going to Bayern Munich. He might be going to Real Madrid. They need strikers. Julian Alvarez joined Manchester City. Within that same first season, he was here, signed a new deal to stay at Manchester City and improve his current terms at the club. And that's because he started off so well. The club was like, you know what? You deserve it. You absolutely need to stay here. And this season, he's given more opportunities to start. Maybe that's because of the size of the squad at the moment. But I do think it's justified by the performances that he's been having since the start of the season. In his last game, was that his last? Yeah, it was the last game. 2 goals. Could have had a hat trick as well. I think he should have had a hat trick with that last chance that he had, but particularly that free kick, man. And it's so funny because in the game, I think it was 1 or 2 games before the Champions League fixture, he got a free kick and he hit it off the bar. And it was so close to going in. I was looking at it and I was saying, you know what? It's very unlucky that he didn't score that goal. But I like what I'm seeing. And with KDB out now, Gundogan is also not here. We need a right-footed free kick taker. I want to see Phil Foden on the left-footed ones at the moment. I don't think he has the best free kicks, but I do want to see him continue to take them and improve on them over time, take up that responsibility in the squad. As it relates to Julian Alvarez, I was not familiar with your game. I did not expect him to be this good on set pieces, even corners. So very happy with how Julian Alvarez has started the season. I'm sure that he'll definitely start this game as well, and I'm sure he'll be as electric as he was. I think it was a West Ham game in particular. Was the last performance that he had where in the first half I was like, you know what? I think you could do a little bit more. You're not really in the game right now. I don't see you stamping your authority on the match. But in the second half, he definitely stepped up and did that. And he notched himself an assist in that game, or two assists in that game. So much respect to Julian Alvarez, and I definitely hope he continues up his hot run of form. Let me get back to the comments before I give you guys the Nottingham Forest players to keep an eye on. See a lot of comments here that I didn't read before. Okay. OC says, I am Jamaican, just like you. Well, big up to you. Thanks for being here. Jamaicans are welcome. Manchester City fans are welcome. And for me, really, it doesn't really matter who you support or where you're from. If you want to share your opinion in a respectful way and be a part of the community, then definitely you are welcome here. And he says you're actually Mexican but live in Jamaica. Awesome, awesome. And JJDJ says, I am a true monk. Awesome. Um, don't know when exactly, but going to the Etihad is on the agenda for me. JJ, let's link up, man. Etihad trip, Manchester Derby, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Um, and see a bit of conversation between OC and JJ. I don't know if this is banter or what about not having to been to a game, but let's bring it back to the actual match at hand: Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I don't really see the need for all the back and forth in the comments. But Ethan says score prediction for tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't get that up on the screen. Score prediction for tomorrow. I'll get to that as soon as I speak about Nottingham Forest players. If you want to go ahead and drop your score prediction in the chat now, I'll definitely get to it as well as soon as I give mine. And a bit more back and forth. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. But like I said, let's keep it all football related. Let's all keep it respectful, and let's continue just ahead of my score prediction. Now, first players I'm keeping an eye on. Awoniyi is the first player I'm looking at. I think he is a bit underrated at Nottingham Forest, personally. I think he's a better striker than people give him credit for. And I think that's partially due to people not watching Nottingham Forest. Every time I've watched Nottingham Forest, I'm impressed by this player. I think he's like I said, he's very strong and aggressive. I think he's also very clinical. And just like Darwin Nunes, he gives you a bit of chaos. For me, as a striker, you don't have to do the whole Faz 9 link up, Nico Jackson, Joe Felix thing. Like, that's cool, right? I like that. But like, I want my striker to be the most efficient player on the pitch. And I think Awoniyi definitely gives Nottingham Forest an element of efficiency. Whether it's in his pressing or it's in his positioning and defensive work for interceptions and stuff like that, I think he does a good job of imposing himself on a match. He's definitely someone that you have to look at and give good consideration and preparation for before the game. So Awani is that first player I'm looking at and saying, you know what? If Nottingham Forest are going to get something out of this game, that is a player that might cause a lot of trouble. And following him is a player who I think works in close tandem with Awoniyi, and he is Morgan Gibbs White. Similarly to Awoniyi, every time I see Gibbs White, effective, good on the ball. He's good at creating chances. Good dribbler. I think he reads the game really well. I think he loses the ball a bit too much, in my opinion. But I put that down to him trying to be the man for Nottingham Forest. And similarly, KDB loses the ball a lot, but we take that for what he does give us when what he tries comes off, which is also, you know, crucial moments in games. So Morgan Gibbs White, I think he's a player that Roger will definitely have to keep an eye on, and Marshall. Not anything I'm worried about Roger doing, obviously. Best DM in the world. But I want to see him limit Morgan Gibbs White, him and Matthias Nunes, limit Morgan Gibbs White as much as possible, and that will stifle a lot of the creativity that they have. I think from there they'll just try to get the ball all the way up to our knee for him to hold it up, or getting the ball out on the wings for Callum Hudson-Odoi or Anthony Ilanga. In which either case, I think that works out for us, them trying to force the ball further up the field instead of trying to protect it. But let's see how the game turns out. The third player I do want to keep an eye on is Matt Turner. Good goalkeeper. The number one for the US national team. Obviously, I watch CONCACAF football, so I've seen a bit more of Matt Turner than probably the normal Premier League fan would. And I like Matt Turner. The level, if you're comparing it to Alisson or Ederson, sure, they are definitely better keepers. But I do think that there is quality in this goalkeeper. I think he's a good shot stopper, and even when it comes to penalties, I think his quality shines there as well. So he might be another keeper who, this season we've seen keepers have mad performances against us in terms of saving chances, particularly stopping Erling Haaland. But I think Matt Turner might notch like a good amount of saves in the game, and we'll believe in the game and saying, you know what? If it wasn't for Matt Turner, this result could have been a lot different. So Matt Turner is that third Nottingham Forest player who I'm looking at and saying you can cause us a lot of trouble in terms of us getting our 3 points tomorrow. Now I do expect us to not collect 3 points, but yeah, those are the players who I'm looking at the most for Nottingham Forest ahead of the game. And my prediction for the game is a Manchester City 3-0 win. I do think we'll get that result, 3-0 to Manchester City. I think we can get another Doku goal, and I think Haaland can get the other two. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Haaland and Doku to finish off Nottingham Forest 3-0. Let me get back to the comments as well before I move on. I do want to get you guys thoughts on the NLD as well. Big match coming up this weekend. We can just relax and watch it as neutrals. Obviously, our game would have been wrapped up from the Saturday. They play on the Sunday. So interesting weekend. Let me know your guys' score predictions for Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest. And let me know your score predictions for the NLD. After I check the comments, I'll let you guys know what I think that NLD might turn out like. OC and Scarlett are talking and they said they're girlfriends. So I'm assuming that OC is a girl then. Okay. Okay. And Scarlett Monet says, "Hey, Clinical. Thanks for being here, Scarlett. I appreciate your comments as well. I hope you're doing good. Let me know what are your thoughts on the game. I'm not going to put up all of these comments of just the dialogue between you guys, but feel free to discuss amongst yourselves as well. JJ says, I'm out. I can't take these two anymore. Sorry, Clinical. You have to put up with them. I'm sorry if they're causing you grief in the comments, JJ. And Scarlett and OC, I would definitely ask you guys to please be accommodating of anybody else coming into the chat as well. I do want to have a good community where everybody gets along. We can share opinions on our club, Manchester City, if you guys are Manchester City supporters, of course. But regardless, I don't want anyone feeling uncomfortable in the comments for whatever reason. And yeah, I do really want to keep it respectful. And Scarlett says, we can be nice now. Is that nice though? You made him leave. Like I'm not sure if that's very nice of you. everyone can get along. It's definitely possible. And OC's, listen, we're talking Manchester City, Nottingham Forest. Please, let's start Manchester City, Nottingham Forest. Cool. Um, Scarlett says clinical is great. I try my best. I definitely do try my best. And Ethan asking if JJ is still here. Manchester City says Manchester City will win comfortably. I'm going for a 4-0 win. I can see where your prediction is coming from because, like I said, my main question for Nottingham Forest is the chemistry. Like, can they sort out their chemistry, get all these new players understanding their roles and teammates better? And like I said, that will only come with time. So 4-0, if we are on it, that really determines where the scoreline goes. I don't think it will be another 6-0 like last season, but I do think that there are goals in this game for us. And Scarlett says, I can't watch City. I do remember you saying you were a United fan. So that makes sense, no problem. But we are talking Manchester City mainly right now. So, yeah. And you say you live in Australia. That's the reason. Understand. Um, Thankfully, I have access to media here that I can watch the game and I can see I can use Peacock or Paramount for Champions League games. Yeah, I get around to watching games even though I'm not in the country. And Manchester City says I blocked them so I can't see their comments. Maybe that's what JJ will have to do. Personally, I don't get much grief from Scarlett or OC, at least not yet so far. And I hope it does stay like that because unfortunately, it wouldn't be able to work out. I want everybody to get along here. If that's why you works for you, Manchester City, I have no problem. You have been very respectful in the comments. I don't think anybody has any problems with you, so that's been fine. And Scarlett, OC, they seem to get along perfectly fine. So if there is anybody that you guys don't get along with, you don't have to make it into a big issue or a big deal, a big problem. We don't have to make this a toxic place. This is definitely not going to be a toxic environment, this channel. Not on my watch, anyways. Scarlett says MCFR TV is live soon. I am about to wrap up this stream and I'll probably stop by over there as well. And let's talk NLD. So for me, I think Spurs win this game. I'm going 3-2 Spurs. Arsenal fans humbled, Arsenal fans crying, and I think the Spurs fans will go over the moon with a result like that. And then before December, I want to see that Spurs tower tumbling down as well because I don't like Uno neither. You see me? So Spurs to win on the weekend, 3-2. And I think it's going to be a massive result. It will be the topic of the weekend. Like, oh my gosh, when's the last time Spurs won at Arsenal away? I think Arsenal fans will come in with the that's your trophy now talk and all of that. And I think it will be an amazing way to end off the month with a scintillating derby game. I do hope that it doesn't go completely against what I just said and it's the stinkiest, worst derby we've seen in years. But I do expect it to be a really good watch because Arsenal are the home team. They have a specific style of play. Mikel Arteta learning from Pep Guardiola as well as his assistant. So I don't think he'll abandon his philosophies and definitely not at home. And Postecoglou does not strike me as the type of person to abandon his philosophies for a game, regardless of it being home or away. So I think Spurs will go away to Arsenal's ground and they will give it their best shot, get their players on the ball. I think Postecoglou, as a man with clearly a way with words from all the interviews that he's done, and he clearly knows all the right things to say. He's done a great job motivating Spurs so far this season. And I think he'll know exactly what to say to his team ahead of the game for them to go out there and give the best account of themselves possible. I do think the players who have played NLD before will also know that this will be a hostile match. Whichever team is the home team in the NLD, it is a very hostile environment for the away team. And I think the ones who have played before will be expecting that, pass on that information to the newer players. And it might have a rough, rocky start for Arsenal. They might have a better start than Spurs and might be rocky for Spurs to get something out of the game. But I think if they can weather the storm for like 20 to 30 minutes into the first half, Spurs can definitely come out on top in this game. Don't go like 2-0 down by halftime like last year. And trust me, 3-2 Spurs. Don't forget it. Bookmark it. Come back right here when it done because Clinical told you so. Hopefully I say it goes still. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, Manchester City here with another comment, and he says, the thing is, by letting them stay on your channel, you lose genuine City fans who want to talk about Manchester City. I can see that happening as well. I hope it doesn't get to that, but for me, I want to at least give everybody a chance to give their opinions here. If it does get to more of a negative space, then I will definitely do something about that. I like having conversations with everybody who does come in, but at the end of the day, this is a community. It's not come talk to me. It's a community. Everyone should be getting along here. And if there is anyone here with the intention of causing issues, you will have to be removed. And that's just the unfortunate fact. So I completely understand what you're saying. If something like this does happen again in the future, then unfortunately I do might have to take some sort of action. And I hope that I'm not making, a poor decision, before the time where me not doing something now already causes a problem that won't be able to get fixed. MCFC says you don't need them. Look after the genuine fans. You know what? I hear that. I definitely hear that. Yeah. By the next stream, something will be done. Something will be done. Um, I don't want this to. I want it to be a pleasant experience for everyone who comes by. But if there are people who come to disrupt the peace, then MCFC, you are right. Something has to be done. I do have to look after the genuine fans, and I might even owe JJ an apology. So my apologies, JJ, DJ, JJ, JD. I don't remember the order of your name, but I do hope to see you over MCFR. I'll apologize to you over there as well. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next live stream as well with clean Manchester City chat, no toxicity, and we can all just have a good time, genuine conversations. But that's pretty much all I have for this one, guys. It went longer than what I expected it to, but it was a good talk for the most part. We spoke about the actual game and previewed what we needed to. MCFC says you need your channel to grow. It won't by letting these people on. Like I said, yeah, we'll definitely sort something out because moving forward, this that happened today cannot continue to move forward. So we'll have to do something about that definitely. But yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next one, which will be on Sunday after the game, probably around a similar time between 8 p.m., 9 p.m. UK time, thereabout. I'll give you guys a live review of the Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest game. Um, Not sure if I'll do a preview and review of the Nottingham Forest game because it seems to be losing a bit of importance, seeing that it will clash with the Club World Cup, and that seems to be the one that we're going for. I want us to also go and win the Club World Cup, but Nottingham Forest. I mean, yeah, Newcastle away in the Carabao Cup might be a game that we just rotate for. If Pep doesn't take it seriously, that kind of tells me what the plan is for this season regarding even if we do win or lose that competition. But if he does put out a strong team, then hey, chance that we try to stay in both competitions, slim chance. I don't think it will happen, but um I probably won't be doing a preview and review for that, in which case the last conversation we'll have for the month will be previewing the Wolves game. Until next time, it's been good. Hope all you guys are good, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.